Hope in the Wild, The Journey of Compassion Beyond Boundaries Part 1, The Dawn of Faith Chapter 1, The Awakening of Nature in the Early Mornings in Montana. A serene beauty always radiates as the first rays of sunlight weave through a delicate mist over ancient pine canopies. Sarah Mitchell, a wildlife biologist with over 20 years of experience, drove her Forest Service vehicle to a small turn on a winding dirt road. She would always remember the thrill mixed with affection she felt each time she stepped into the forest, where every sound and every scent whispered the secrets of something magnificent. That day, the atmosphere was unlike any other, an uncanny feeling, like nature's own whisper, seemed to beckon Sarah to explore something beyond expectation. Over the radio came a report from the outpost. "Mitchell, there is a report of an injured bear near Cedar Creek. The pedestrians say it didn't run away. Instead, it is standing guard over a hollow log." Sarah couldn't help but pause, her gaze wavering between the ethereal beauty of dawn and the mysterious report. Why would an injured bear stay here instead of fleeing, she wondered, feeling that something extraordinary was waiting to be revealed. She recalled childhood tales of the forest spirit, a legend in which a guardian was ever present to protect the sacred wonders of nature. Immediately, she adjusted the radio, rechecked the coordinates, and together with her longtime companion, Mike Tor, as a forest ranger with a warm heart and the scars of time, they raced to follow the trail of the story. Chapter 2. An unexpected discovery. Along the winding trail, amid ancient trees and the soft murmur of leaves in the wind, Sarah and Mike gradually approached a small woodland area by a stream. Suddenly, through Sarah's binoculars, an image emerged: a black bear, its fur soiled and streaked with blood, yet its posture was not one of panic or flight. It was alert, almost like a sentry on duty. The bear stood slowly, partly shielding a large hollow log with its body, behind which lay something that quickened Sarah's heartbeat. "Mike, look at this," Sarah whispered. Her companion quickly brought out his binoculars, his eyes widening as he witnessed the strange sight. The bear appeared to be guarding something inside the hollow log. "It's not a group of bears." "No, it isn't," Mike murmured, sadly realizing that it wasn't bear cub season. They moved closer, each step carrying with it a flood of memories, emotions, and deep reflections on the nature of the wild. In Sarah's heart, the question why surged forth. Why would a bear, an animal known for its fierce predatory instincts, expend all its strength to protect such a small place? And what could possibly be inside the hollow log? After a few moments of excitement and anxiety, Sarah and Mike decided to document the scene before intervening. As they approached, they discovered something that left both of them choked with emotion. Inside the hollow log were two tiny creatures: a golden retriever puppy with a lustrous golden coat, and a kitten with cloudy, trembling eyes from frailty. No one could have imagined that such a tragic yet miraculous story lay hidden within that log. Chapter 3. The Journey of Rescue. In that moment, time itself seemed to stand still. Sarah felt a deep compassion, an unexpected emotion, as if nature were conveying a profound message. Protection and love can come from places you least expect. Although the bear was suffering wounds from a collision, perhaps with a vehicle, it still stood there, guarding the two fragile lives, as though they were treasures of the world. Mike, ever calm and experienced, suggested, "We need to act immediately. The bear isn't displaying aggression. It's simply trying to keep them safe." Emotion welled up in Sarah: empathy, compassion, and a delicate belief that miracles still existed in the wilderness. In that decisive moment, Sarah recalled life's lessons, those times when she had felt a deep harmony between humanity and nature. Perhaps this is not merely an instinctual act, but also a reminder that love and protection know no boundaries, she whispered. Together with Mike, Sarah decided to intervene gently and carefully. They used a tranquilizer dart from a trap gun, a safe measure designed to ease the bear's tension without causing further pain. When the drug took effect, the bear slowly collapsed to the ground. Yet even in its stupor, this guardian maintained its posture, as if to affirm that its mission was far from over. While preparing for transport, Sarah could not take her eyes off the bear's sparkling gaze. Despite the pain, there was a glimmer of intelligence and kindness in those eyes. "I believe we have just witnessed something that transcends the ordinary understanding of animal instinct," she thought, her heart filled with gratitude and a lingering sense of wonder. Chapter 4. Reminiscence and connection. As the rescue vehicle rolled along the road to the Montana Wildlife Rescue Center, Sarah recalled her own past. She remembered her first steps into the world of nature, when everything brimmed with wonder and surprise. Moonlit nights, the alluring call of the forest, and the ancient tales she'd heard from elders all blending into a beautiful yet mysterious tapestry. Mike, sitting silently beside her, seemed to hold within his eyes the stories of years spent living in the wild. He recounted to Sarah a strange encounter from his childhood. "I once heard that deep in the forest there is always a protective spirit. Sometimes it appears in the form of an animal you'd never even imagine." Those words planted a seed in Sarah's heart, a belief that there was something beyond the logic of man. When the vehicle finally stopped at the center's gate, they were promptly greeted by Dr. Rachel Anderson, the center's director, whose keen eyes were softened by kindness. Rachel, who herself bore the scars of past losses and sacrifices made in defense of nature, immediately recognized that the bear's story, which they later named Hope, was not a mere accident but a symbol of life and love transcending all boundaries. During the examination and treatment, X-rays revealed that Hope had a broken rib and a deep cut along her side, likely the result of a collision with a vehicle. Yet, the bear's vital signs remained strong, affirming that even in the most painful circumstances, the flame of faith and the will to live still burned bright. At the same time, the two tiny creatures, the puppy, later named Max, and the kitten, later named Faith, were being carefully tended to. Rachel explained, these wounds might not just be the result of an accident, they could also be a kind of miracle. Look into their eyes, and you'll see a fierce will to live, nurtured by Hope's protection. In that moment, Sarah couldn't help but wonder, how can a bear, known for its predatory instincts, become a guardian for such delicate lives? That question was not only a scientific curiosity but also one that touched her very soul, prompting reflections on the fragility and wonder of love between different species. Chapter 5. Mysteries unveiled. As days passed at the center, a strange phenomenon began to unfold. Despite her severe injuries, Hope gradually recovered under the devoted care of the animal medical team. Yet what amazed everyone most was the way Hope interacted with Max and Faith. Every time a sound came from the other side of the viewing window, Hope seemed to awaken. Her eyes grew deep and warm and more intriguingly conveyed an understanding, as if she were communicating with the two little ones in a language beyond human words. Sarah often sat by the window observing, her heart full of emotion. She thought, perhaps this is not merely an instinctual act of protection, but also an expression of genuine affection, a way nature teaches us about empathy and compassion. These reflections, mingled with her personal insights, deepened her conviction that Hope's story held many mysteries yet to be revealed. On one gentle rainy afternoon, as the light of the sky filtered through each raindrop, Mike unexpectedly shared with Sarah a story. He had heard from an elderly villager a local legend about the guardian of the green forest. According to the legend, in moments when nature falls into crisis, the forest spirit chooses a protector in the form of an animal to save life and convey a message of unity among all species. Perhaps Hope is the embodiment of that very legend, Mike said, his eyes reflecting both reverence and unwavering faith. Emotion surged within Sarah. She realized that beyond mere numbers, medical tests, or scientific studies, there existed a spiritual depth that could only be felt with the heart. We always think of nature as ruthless, solely about competition and predation, but sometimes it reveals a profound kindness that surpasses all our imaginations, she murmured, her voice deep with wonder. Chapter 6. A new harmony. While the center bustled with its daily activities, rumors about Hope, the guardian of the forest, spread throughout the region. People from all around flocked to the center not only to catch a glimpse of the legendary bear but also to experience the message of life, a message that seemed to proclaim that love knows no bound. Aries between species. But Hope's story did not end there. One afternoon, as Sarah reviewed the rescue footage, she discovered something unexpected in a frame. Beside the hollow log that Hope guarded, there was a faint mark, as if someone had once been there, a small sign that was enough to spark her curiosity. Perhaps there is something else we have yet to uncover, she thought, her heart filled with a mix of anxiety and hope. It might have been nothing more than the trace of an old necklace, or a small scrap of paper soaked with earth, but to Sarah, it was the sign that a new chapter of the story was beginning. Deep within her, the question why grew ever more profound. Could it be that Hope's actions were not just a simple instinctive response, but also concealed a message, a mystery that time had long kept hidden? Part 2. The Colors of the Past and Future. Chapter 7. Echoes of the past. In the morning after Hope, Max, and Faith were brought to the center, the atmosphere there grew even warmer and filled with hope. Yet within every person, from the rescue team to the visiting locals, lingered memories and fragments of a past that would not easily fade. Sarah woke early and sat by the window gazing out at the misty forest. In that quiet moment, childhood memories rushed back. She recalled walking in the woods with her parents, listening to tales of the guardian of the green forest, a legend she believed always carried a message about the sacred connection between humans and nature. These memories suddenly mingled with the image of Hope, the bear, though gravely injured, who remained steadfast in protecting the tiny lives. Sarah wondered if this was how the past and present intertwined, conveying the message that compassion transcends all natural boundaries. In her mind, the image of her late father appeared, the man who had taught her to love and cherish every creature of the forest. She felt a fragile yet powerful belief, as if whispered by the wind through every leaf: everything happens for a reason. Chapter 8. The Mystery of the Necklace. Afternoon. When the center was quiet except for the soft breathing of the recovering animals, Sarah made a surprising discovery. While tidying near the wooden log where Hope once stood guard, she stumbled upon a delicate necklace hidden in a small nook of the log. The silver necklace, adorned with intricate patterns, seemed to bear the unmistakable mark of a bygone era. A surge of confusion mixed with curiosity welled up inside Sarah. Could this be the trace of someone, a fragment of a memory from the past that the forest has hidden away, she wondered. More than just a piece of jewelry, the necklace appeared to contain a story. After some investigation and discussions with Mike and Dr. Rachel, they discovered that the necklace was engraved with the name Elizabeth, a name reminiscent of the mother of one of the characters Sarah had heard about in her childhood. The story began to piece together a family that once lived on the edge of the forest, a kind-hearted woman with a passion for protecting nature. The more Sarah delved into it, the more she felt a mysterious connection between the necklace and her own past. Could it be that something in her blood was intertwined with the legend of the guardian of the green forest? These thoughts left Sarah's heart in turmoil, eager to uncover more, yet fearful that her past might gradually reveal things she was not ready to face. She decided to keep the necklace secret, as a token of the mysteries yet to unfold. Chapter 9. The Convergence of Fate. In the following days, the rescue center became busier than ever. News of Hope, the guardian of the forest, spread throughout the region, attracting not only media attention, but also bold individuals in the field of animal behavior research. Scientists from far and wide flocked to the center, eager to decipher the mystery of compassionate nature. Mike, usually quiet but profound, became immersed in conversations with the researchers. He shared stories of strange encounters in the forest, odd signs he had witnessed as a boy. Sometimes, he said thoughtfully, I wonder if nature always hides something beyond human logic, a soul, a heart capable of love that we have yet to recognize. Meanwhile, Dr. Rachel Anderson began to realize that Hope's story was not merely an accident or a rare phenomenon. She discovered unusual medical data while monitoring Hope's heartbeat and biological indicators as if, despite the many injuries, the bear's heart maintained a uniquely warm and intimate rhythm. Unexpectedly, an unforeseen event occurred when, during a routine review of the surveillance cameras, the center's team spotted an image they couldn't explain in the footage. As Hope rested in her private area, a vague human silhouette glided by in the background, a figure that appeared familiar yet indistinct. This appearance raised a series of questions. Was someone secretly watching or interfering with Hope's recovery, or was it merely an illusion caused by the light and camera angle? Sensitive to the spiritual signals of nature, Sarah felt her heart momentarily stunned. She realized that the fragments from the past, the necklace, and old stories might be gradually unveiling a greater mystery. "We must find the truth," she whispered to Mike during an emergency meeting at the center. "Something isn't right, and perhaps it involves us as well." Chapter 10. An unexpected turn. Closer they got to the center, the more vividly the pieces of the past came to life. During a small symposium organized by Rachel with several experts, an unexpected guest arrived, a renowned researcher, Mr. Adrian Law, who had contributed to numerous projects on wildlife behavior. Mr. Law introduced an entirely new perspective. He suggested that Hope's behavior was not just an instinctive response, but perhaps the result of a spiritual experience that animals sometimes undergo when faced with circumstances beyond imagination. Adrian explained, "In recent studies, we have observed phenomena that cannot be explained by traditional science. Some animals, in decisive moments, exhibit actions as if they understand the meaning of life, of love. To me, this is not merely survival instinct. It is a form of emotional intelligence that we have yet to fully explore." His words struck like a shock to those accustomed to the ordinary ways of nature. Sarah, who had long nurtured her own perceptions about the connection between humans and nature, felt as though a new door had opened in her heart. If there truly is a spiritual depth in animal behavior, then we must listen and learn from them, she said, her voice urgent and sincere. At that moment, another unexpected truth emerged. Through further investigation of the necklace, Sarah discovered an old, damp piece of paper hidden underneath it, a handwritten letter with faint, fading lines. The letter told the story of a woman named Elizabeth, the same name inscribed on the necklace, who had once lived with her family in these woods and held a profound belief in the soul of the green forest. The letter revealed that Elizabeth believed every living being had a mission, that love could heal every wound, whether of the spirit or the body. The letter concluded with a promise that in the darkest moments, the light of faith will guide loving hearts. To Sarah, those words were a tremendous encouragement, opening a new path for her to reflect on her own origins and mission in life. She wondered if she might become a bridge between the past and the present, between humans and nature, to convey a timeless message of compassion. Chapter 11. A new beginning. In the days that followed, the rescue center buzzed with activities not only aimed at rehabilitating Hope, Max, and Faith, but also at opening a new chapter of interaction and learning between humans and animals. Discussions, scientific seminars, and educational programs were held continuously, inspiring the community and the youth about the importance of respecting and loving nature. Sarah became increasingly busy with work and personal investigations. She spent hours poring over the necklace and Elizabeth's letter, trying to connect with the faint memories of the past. During sleepless nights, she dreamed of a gentle mother, of soothing lullabies in the forest, and felt as if she was being called to a certain mission. She began to keep a journal, recording every thought and feeling as a way to converse with her own heart. Meanwhile, Mike, her loyal companion, revealed a secret of his own. In a private conversation after work, he confided in Sarah that, since his youth, he had experienced strange encounters in the forest, feeling the presence of a spirit that always accompanied him like an invisible friend. "I've always believed there's something here beyond the usual understanding of humans," and now witnessing Hope's actions. I feel that nothing is by chance, Mike said, his deep voice laden with hidden meaning. Mike's revelation only deepened the connection between the past, present, and future. Together, they decided to hold a small ceremony at the center, inviting warm-hearted people, those who had once experienced magical moments in the forest, to remember and honor the spirit of nature. The ceremony, with flickering candles and the gentle strains of a zither, affirmed that even in the darkest times, the light of love always shines through. Chapter 12. The Symphony of Nature. As time passed, Hope's recovery began to follow the rhythm of nature. Every day, the bear demonstrated caring and closeness with Max and Faith, as if she were teaching them how to live and love. The moments spent observing her through the viewing window became sacred, where everyone at the center seemed to listen to the story of the forest's own heart. One day, while Sarah was busy recording her observations, she received a phone call from a tearful woman. It was Karen Davidson, the mother of the children, who had been out of contact due to an accident. Karen shared that after learning of Max and Faith's safety, a distant memory suddenly resurfaced, a necklace she had once mentioned during hard times, an object she believed to be a symbol of protection and luck. In that moment when memory and the present converged, Karen realized that the necklace Sarah had found might be a piece of her own past, a memory slowly fading with time. This revelation ignited a new light at the center. It was not just Hope's story, but the story of people, lives entangled by fate, finding each other through nature's subtle signs. During a general meeting at the center, Rachel, Sarah, Mike, and Karen discussed the idea of establishing a dedicated sanctuary, Hope Wildlife Sanctuary. This place would not only be a refuge for Hope and other creatures, but also serve as an educational center, inspiring future generations about compassion and the deep bond between humans and nature. In the process of building the sanctuary, the stories from the past, Mr. Adrian's insights, and Sarah's profound feelings about the necklace led everyone to an astonishing truth. Hope's appearance and her protective actions were not merely a rare natural phenomenon, but the manifestation of a mission long predestined. On a cool afternoon, as the sunset painted the sky in gold, Sarah stood by the interaction window, watching Hope, now significantly recovered, play with Max and Faith behind the secure glass. In that moment, she suddenly realized that the painful experiences, the fragments of the past, and even nature's subtle signals had all merged into a symphony of life. She thought to herself, every wound, every pain can become a source of inspiration for us to seek new hope, and love, however it is expressed, always has the power to heal everything. Epilogue. Endless hope and faith. In the final days of summer, the Hope Wildlife Sanctuary officially opened its doors. The story of a wounded bear who dedicated herself to two tiny lives had become a symbol of life, compassion, and the ability to overcome all prejudices. At the inauguration ceremony, witnessed by the community, the center's members along with supporters from far and wide lit candles together, conveying the belief that, though people may lose their way, if we learn to listen to nature's call, hope will always endure. With warm eyes and trembling hands from emotion, Sarah shared, Hope's story has taught us that love knows no boundaries, not just between species, but between the past and the present, between sorrow and joy. Each of us, no matter how battered by life's storms, can find hope in the smallest of things. In that moment, the sound of applause and tears mingled with the rustling forest wind, like an eternal hymn to life. Karen, Mike, Rachel, and even Mr. Adrian Leach carried within them a story, a fragment of memory now united by sincere love and care. The story of Hope, Max, and Faith was etched into everyone's heart, standing as a living testament that nature is not only a realm of life but also a place of unspoken wonders. And for Sarah, Elizabeth's necklace and the old letter served as a reminder that no matter how painful the past may be, it always conceals seeds of faith and hope for the future.